EC, you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I feel as though trans people only have to disclose when it comes down to a sexual nature or life or death in the hospital. Anything other than that, like, it's really not anybody's business. If we're not getting down with the get down, I don't understand why we got to talk about what I got going on. Other than that, like, there's no reason for you to really know.
Mark, if they're not getting down with the get down, as EC says, why should you and I know?
And like Nicole said, it depends on the situation. And adult conversation, adult wisdom, yes, it does depend on the situation. It could be at the workplace, right? But say you're a person that's a tailor. Say you're a tailor.
Okay.
And you have to take inseams of a man, of a heterosexual man. You think that's fair to him? What the understanding is
but don't tailors take inseams on heterosexual men? When you get tailored, doesn't a man have to take your inseams?
At least that heterosexual male does at least have the understanding of the assumption that tailor don't want his goods. You understand what I'm saying? It's a difference. See, what y'all are doing is saying what heterosexuals want. And you are at the same time asking us heterosexuals to hear, abide by, understand, and have empathy for what you want. It's all about what you want. You're human like we are. But you also have to open up your ears, your heart, and y'all's minds to understand that is devastating in the heterosexual world. I don't know how long some of y'all have dwelled in the heterosexual world and how versed you are.
But I'm asking specifically, only because you threw the example out there, right, and we can move on, but I'm asking specifically, when we're talking about tailors, you brought up tailors.
He said workplace. So
well, I'm just saying you brought up if a tailor is doing the inseam of your pants. Is that correct? I want to make sure I'm correct.
Brought up workplace. So I was giving a workplace example where you
tailors providing me a service. So I have breasts, I have hips, I have whatever. So they're just providing me a service. They're not supposed to be touching me, trying to get frisky with me while they're providing service. I can guarantee you, honey, ain't nothing swinging between his legs that might get in their way, honey. If they are tailoring me, that is their job. I don't need to tell you my personal life. First of all, I don't even know my tailor like that. I show up and I get tailored and I go on about my business. You know how many suits, how many dresses, how many things I get altered on a daily basis? Do you think we're having personal conversations like, guess what? I used to be a man. Like, that's not a workplace. When I say workplace, if you and I both work for Chase Bank or Wells Fargo or whoever we work for, I don't need to tell you at the coffee machine that I'm trans.
Do you agree with that, Mark? I want to ask Mark if he agrees with that part. If she works at Chase,
I didn't say Wells Fargo.
If she works at Chase or Wells Fargo,
No.
Okay.
That doesn't matter.
Tahoe.
No interaction with the male ego, with the heterosexual ego. That has nothing to do with it. But when it has to go in the heterosexual ego,
so if you're a tailor, if you're a tailor and you find out that you altered a dress for a trans woman, is that attacking your male?
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said, if you're the tailor, Nicole, and you're doing the inseam.
Oh, if you're the tailor. Okay, we misunderstood that part.
Work doing the inseam of a heterosexual male, y'all are saying it's not a problem, but I am a heterosexual male and I'm speaking for us and I'm telling you.
So I'm asking you specifically, Mark, and we'll move off of the tailor thing. I'm asking you specifically. Let's just take a heterosexual man or woman. Are you saying you don't want a heterosexual woman to be your tailor, only a heterosexual man? Or are you saying you only want a heterosexual man to be your tailor, not a heterosexual woman?
First of all, I would prefer a heterosexual woman to be my tailor. You understand?
But I'm saying, do you mind a heterosexual man?
Yeah, I mind a heterosexual. He can do it.
So what's the difference?
All right, got it. Go ahead.
Because he don't want meat. He don't want meat. He's vegetarian.
I mean, I don't.
So, Tahoe, the workplace, do you agree with that? That it's okay to not identify yourself in a workplace?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you should be able to see. The thing is that there are workplace discriminations. So, and then what's the reason? like, this is the whole thing about identifying as Black on a resume or something like that, because they can use that to discriminate against you. And people do use it. It's historical truth. So I don't see why it's necessary. That to me falls on the receiver, not the actual person who is identifying different from their birth, right? That's
Right.
You want me to make you feel comfortable for your existence, and you're basically eliminating my need for comfort or whatever desire that I have for me. That has nothing to do with whether I can type or whether I can drive or whatever this job calls for. It doesn't, it
Right.
means nothing. I'd
Right.
also like to say that
Kayla, I want to move on to you. So we talk about the power of choice, and Mark mentioned a lot about the power of choice at the beginning of the show, and he is right in saying that we all have the power of choice. So does not knowing you are dating someone who is trans mean they have robbed you of your power of choice?
I don't think that that's what that means at all. I've been in situations where I've dated men and they didn't know I was trans until we've been dating for a year, and it just happened because they want to talk about children and bearing children. And I'm like, I can't do that. I do want to speak about the workplace because I'm a CEO and I'm a community developer. I'm working to build homes here in Memphis, and I have to work with a lot of heterosexual contractors. And a lot of the times they don't know that I'm trans, but I'm outed when I say that I'm building homes for trans people or when they meet the actual trans people who will be getting the homes. So I've had the experience that a lot of men who identify as heterosexual tend to either overbid, won't bid on jobs because they're going to be working for a Black trans woman. It's a man's world. It really is. I know very few women here in the Memphis area who are doing development the way that I'm doing it. And they've all had the same experience that men have an issue with working with women or working for women when it comes to the building of the homes. And then when you add the fact that I'm a transgender woman and I'm doing this on behalf of transgender people, there's really a big disconnect. So I think that that's the disadvantage of me disclosing in the workplace that I'm transgender, because taking me out of the situation and making it more broader, it really alienates trans people in the workplace because there will be rumors and there will be conversations and murmurs about their transgender identity versus the actual work that needs to be done. Productivity is going to be down because people are always going to be concerned about this trans person in the bathroom, this trans person in the break room. What are they doing in there? We're doing the same thing that everyone else does in the bathroom. That's my take on the whole situation, is that
I don't do what you're doing.
It's a deterrent for me. I'm not going to disclose to people who I'm paying and who are my employees or contractors that I'm transgender, because that has nothing to do with the quality of the home that you're going to build for me.
So let's go back to talking about you dating a man for a year, and then upon having a conversation about children is when you disclose your status. How does that man take it?
He continued to care for me in the same way that he did. There was not an issue with our relationship. He didn't become a violent or belligerent person. It was a conversation that we had in the bed on pillows, and then we went to sleep on those same pillows, and we continued that relationship. I don't think that it made him feel less of a man, because I've met his family, I've met his children. Like, it didn't make him any less of a man. Nothing changed in our relationship. I don't feel that I deceived him. And I asked him, did he feel deceived? Because I just assume that people do these things about me. I just assume that they do. I'm a person that you can Google and you can find information out about me. So it's not like, he met me at a Pride event. So I assumed.
Right.
That would be
So
a great
EC,
place to assume that. I mean, that's cool.
EC, do you feel the same way as Kayla here?
Yes, I've dated people that did not know that I was a man of trans experience.
They blind. I'm just gonna say they blind. They can't see you, man. You was clearly a dude.
Yeah, you want to know a secret? I was born female.
Really?
Ha!
Like, what if
Now your mind's kind of blown, right, bro?
No,
so
no, it's not.
explore,
No,
it
see,
is. because
that's what I'm talking about.
No, you
Y'all
literally
get
just said there. I didn't
on
trick you. I didn't trick you. You
Who
weren't
was
listening.
tricking?
Nobody tricked. You weren't listening because I said
Oh,
that.
I'm listening.
And if you listen to Tammi Mack's intro of me, they said I was the executive director of Trans Tech Social Enterprise.
I heard
which
that.
is a nonprofit organization that provides tech.
But you was born a male, bro. Sorry. I can tell.
I
ain't like shit.
He's happy.
Thank you.
Sure
that's exactly what I was going
I'm
for.
sure
Thanks,
that's
bro.
That seems to
exactly
be a
what I'm going
compliment
for.
here.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. That's a compliment. Thank you.
Please finish, EC. Finish.
Yes, but I do think that, it's workplace. Like, it's not, it happens. And it's more wrapped up in cis people wanting to know what that means for them, that they're attracted to trans people. It don't have nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with trans people. It has everything to do with what society says cis people should do, what we've learned in sex ed, because we know sex ed is very heteronormative.
They changed it already. Y'all changed that. Move on. Y'all changed sex ed.
Tammi Mack was speaking to me though, bro. Thanks.
I'm not your bro.
All of those things happened. I was until you knew I was trans, but that's fine.
Right.
I never called you
did
bro.
say you were born a man.
I never called you bro.
There's
You
that.
told me I was definitely born a man. There's no way I'm trans, but now I'm not your brother. I just don't know what to do with you, bro.
You're a comedian. Why
what to
can't
do.
everything you say be funny? You watch yourself as a comedian. We're laughing
All
at
right, it's getting hot in the kitchen, so
Yeah,
let's
'cause
take
y'all
a
letting
quick
all the
break
trans
and
people
cool
talk and not
off.
letting the
We'll be back
heterosexuals
on
say
the
nothing.
business of being Black with Tammi Mack on Fox Soul.